Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The pleasure and the privilege is all mine, brother, to be here with all of you for Jama'at. My name is Zohran Mamdani, and I am the first Muslim to be the Democratic nominee for the mayor of the city of New York. Brothers, I come to Jama'at every Friday at a different masjid across New York City, and I share the vision that I have for this city. But today I want to share something else with you. Yesterday, a man from Texas was arraigned here in Queens on threats that he had made to myself and my family. He had told me that I was not welcome in this country. He told me to worry for my own safety. He told me that as a Muslim I was a terrorist here in this country. And I share this with you because I know that many of you have faced similar remarks in your own lives. You have faced those who have told you you have no place in this city or in this country. You have faced those who have told you that by virtue of being Muslim, you are a terrorist. You have faced those who have tried to make you feel as if you are not New Yorkers. And I want to be very clear that there is no one who can tell us whether or not we belong in this city, who can tell us whether or not we belong in this country. We are just as New York and just as American as anyone here. And for a long time, it has felt as if the safest place for Muslims to be in public life is in the shadows, to not have to deal with that. And I am proud to be on the precipice of being the first Muslim mayor of New York City. To show that it is not something to apologize for. It is not something to be ashamed of. In fact, it is a critical part of who I am as a person. It was Islam that taught me that to be a good person, to be a good Muslim is to be a good person. It was Islam that taught me it meant to help those in need and harm no one. It was Islam that taught me about solidarity in the month of Ramadan and how we offer iftar to those that we know and those that we don't. And I was taught about that Islam by my grandmother Kulsum and my grandfather Yusuf. And I share that because I know that it is a moment of both hope and a moment of fear in this country. And yet we know that this city can be a beacon to show what is possible. And amidst these kinds of death threats, amidst these threats to blow up my car, amidst these death threats that we hear, whether from him or from others, I always think of the moments when I meet Muslim New Yorkers and I see what this campaign means, especially the youngest of our community. I think of a young Muslim girl who ran behind my wife Rama and I as we walked through Astoria Park. She asked us to wait for a photo. I turned around, she couldn't have been older than 6 in her hijab. She called her sisters, her mother, they took a photo together, and I saw in her eyes the possibility that she could be anything in this city. She could be the mayor. And that is what is at the core of our campaign, is a belief that each and every New Yorker deserves the best of this place. And we will not apologize for believing that whilst being Muslim. We will not allow this attempt at silencing us to push us out of public life. And we know in those same threats that I received, he referenced a beeper. And it was a reference to the Israeli war crime of blowing up thousands of pagers across Lebanon, killing scores of civilians, including a young girl by the name of Fatima. And we know that amidst these death threats, there is also an attempt at telling us that to speak up for Palestinian human rights is to be labeled a terrorist, is to be pushed out of this country. And I am proud to stand before you as someone who believes that the worth of our politics, of any universal ideals of justice and liberty and safety, they come from the application of those ideals to all people, and that must also include Palestinians. And I tell that to you as someone who for far too long has watched in horror as we see those same values, those same ideals be violated each and every single day in a genocide that our federal government continues to fund. So I share this with you as a reflection of this campaign, of this race, and I ask you that in these 7 or so weeks we have left, we understand that this fight is not yet won. There are those who will try and smear and slander our campaign. There are those who will try and dissuade you from being a part of this political process. And I ask you, if you are not yet registered to vote, to register. If you are registered, ask everyone in your family, are they registered? Because I want to ensure that this election day, in November, we see so many New Yorkers come out to vote that have never voted before. You know, one of my closest friends, his name is Salman, he's from Montenegro. He sent me a message the other day. He said, my grandfather has been in this country for decades, and now he wants to register to vote. There are so many in our own community who have never seen themselves in the political process. Let this be the time that they act upon that belief. Let this be the time we win in New York for all of us. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.